It's the NFL on EA Sports as we get set for a Super Bowl 48 rematch. It's the Broncos and the Seahawks, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the beautiful city of Seattle. We welcome you inside Lumen Field, the home of the Seahawks. It's the start of a new season in the NFL. Welcome to our first Sunday of 2024 with football. Mike Tirico, my partner this year, Greg Olsen. Greg, so excited to be with you and so excited about Week 1. You build it up, you talk about it for 6 months, but when it arrives, man, it feels so good.
The only week of the entire season, Mike, where all 32 teams are all dreaming the same thing. Playoffs, Super Bowl hopes. This was the best offseason any of them have ever had. And on top of that, it's the excitement and the hope in these stadiums. Every fan base in the NFL thinks that this is their year, and Week 1's getting off to a hot start, and I know both you and I are looking forward to being along for the ride.
He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Here comes the Seattle offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by the number 3 overall pick back in the 2018 draft out of USC. It's Sam Darnold.
There's just something special about Week 1, isn't it, Mike? I mean, after months of anticipation.
Here comes the third-year man out of Michigan State, Kenneth Walker. And he'll be brought down after a short pickup to about the 29. Here's a 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Walker. He'll move this one ahead to the 31-yard line. Dre Greenlaw in on the tackle. Here's 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, it's Darnold. A hit, and he has lost the football. It's picked up by one of his teammates.
After these kind of plays, Mike, you just wish the sideline was a mile away, because you know when you get the earful, they stress all week. Ball carriers, we have to protect the ball. In this case, it doesn't result in a turnover, but the lost yardage now brings up 4th down. These are drive killers.
So it's 4th down. The Seahawks send out the Aussie Michael Dixon to punt. And back deep is Marvin Mims. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Broncos led by the rookie, quarterback Bo Nix out of Oregon. The rookie, the last of the quarterbacks taken in the first round, number 12 overall. He's been around. He's 24 years old. But the rookie runs it for the Broncos.
Mike, as I think back to opening day over my years of playing in the NFL, it didn't matter if I was a rookie or going into my 14th season. I think every player goes into that game with just a little bit of extra nerves, thinking, all right, new season, do this at a high level. And, man, you get through that first game, and it feels like you can finally take a deep breath and let the season unfold. It's going to be a lot of nerves in this one here today, but the team that settles down the fastest and just gets back to playing ball, they're going to have a big advantage coming away with a big win today.
Now a 3rd and 2. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
Well, nothing real fancy here, Mike. Not a huge pickup, but anytime on 3rd down, you got to know where the sticks are, who's your most reliable player, and I think everybody in this booth knows the position that is.
There. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, here's Nix. That's going to be caught. It's Marvin Mims. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. They'll give it to Dobbins.
Well, we have an early decision here, Mike. How aggressive does this coach want to be on this fourth down try? I think you got to keep your offense out there. You have a prime opportunity to take the fight to them, extend this drive, and hopefully be able to come away with points.
Early big play here. They're going to go for it on fourth down. They'll try to run.
Well, that play had no chance from the start. The running back was not even able to make it back to the original line of scrimmage. Give credit to that defensive line. That was an incredible effort, forcing that fourth down stop.
The Seahawks offense going to take over now for the second time. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. Drive starts on the ground with Walker. And that'll be a pickup 3. They face 2nd down and 7. They'll keep it on the ground and keep it with Walker. And he'll take this up, working towards the first down mark. He gets 5, but is just a little short of the first down. Here's 3rd and 2. Try and run it with Walker. And he's not going to get the first down. They met him, brought him down in the backfield on 3rd and short.
The idea here for this offense is you're not really thinking necessarily touchdown. You're thinking first down. Let's get a fresh set of downs here and reset. But in this case, they suffer a loss, and it brings up 4th down.
And great coverage on special teams. They'll mark it down inside the 5-yard line. The Broncos offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. And they're going to hear it from this crowd. They're backed up deep as they start 1st and 10. On the ground, here's Dobbins. Powerful running there, stiff-arming his way for a gain of 6. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. A run with Dobbins. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of, and it's 3rd down. Now it's Dobbins. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
The Broncos bringing out their punter, as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his possession of the football. Out comes the Seattle offense as they get ready for their next possession. They'll start with a short field, looking for the first points of this contest. And they'll begin 1st and 10. And he'll get this down inside the 40-yard line. A gain of 7 yards. 2nd down and 3. Off the play fake, it's Darnold. Cooper Kupp was the intended receiver. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On the handoff, this is Walker. A gain there of 11. 1st down, Seattle.
There's a big conversation going on right now around the NFL about what is the true value of having a run game. And I've always thought it comes down to being good at 3 situations. Can you run the ball in the 4th quarter with a lead, the ball on the goal line, and then in this case, how well can you run the ball in short yardage situations?
He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down. Darnold now to throw. Open man, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Darnold. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, here's the give to Walker. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A huge advantage to red zone offense is the ability to run the ball. In this case, I thought he was going to score. He takes it all the way down inside the 2, sets up 1st and goal.
And he's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. Couldn't reach that ball across, setting up 2nd and goal. Charbonnet going to try to pull his way in. He slams it in there, and he is in. Zach Charbonnet, touchdown Seahawks. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score, and Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike, and it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
So, 7-0 the score, and set now for the dynamic kickoff. From the 6, here comes a return. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Here's Dobbins. He'll manage to get 2, maybe 3 on that carry. Tyrese Knight in on the tackle. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? Working out of the gun, it's Nix. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Seahawks offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They lead it here early 7-0 as they start with a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Walker to start the drive. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's caught. It's Kenneth Walker. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play in this opening quarter. So, 1st quarter in the books here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. It's the Seahawks with the early lead. Greg and I back in the Great Northwest in a moment. Set to go now on 1st and 10. On play action, here's Darnold. And they get to him and finally bring him down. It will go down as a sack.
We've seen a little bit of a transformation across the defensive tackle position. And what I mean, Mike, is years ago, they were on the interior of the line to stuff the run. They were big bodies taking up space. Now, not only do you have to defend the run, you have to be able to win one-on-one matchups and get to the quarterback. Timing and trust, critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
Throwing on third down is Darnold. Taking off, he'll try to get there.
That's a great job defensively. Even though they let him escape the rush initially, there was nowhere to go with either their ball or as a runner, and they're able to force fourth down.
Here's Michael Dixon now, as he is on to kick it for Seattle. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The Broncos offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. So this next drive about to get going, we remind you, coming up later tonight, the regular season premiere of Sunday Night Football. It's a good one. Playoff rematch, Stafford against Goff, the Rams and the Lions from Ford Field. That's at 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow, we wrap up Week 1 with Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers gets another shot at a Monday opener. The Jets and Niners from Santa Clara, 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 West Coast time. A gain there of 10 yards. First down, Broncos. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Oh, no chance to get rid of that one. Under a heavy rush, he goes down.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we'll see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
Work to do now as they come up on second and long. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Well, they'll get some of the sack yardage back, but it's still going to leave them with third down. They'll throw. It's Nix. He will air this out, looking for Sutton. And this ball incomplete on third down. Cortland Sutton, the intended receiver, and it's going to be fourth down. On comes the punter now, as he's on to punt for Denver. This one fielded out beyond the 25. And how about that? Nice return there, picking his way up past the 35-yard line. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker ready to take over once more. First and 10 now from the 36. The run up the middle, it's Walker. And he works past the 40, taken down after a gain of 7. Here's second and 3 to go. Here's a handoff to Walker. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
The offensive line doing a great job opening these run lanes. They have been there this entire first half, and I think if I'm this play caller, until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away, I think I'm just going to keep turning around and handing it to that guy.
That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
Here's a third down and 4. Working out of the gun, it's Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down. So they send out Jason Myers for this field goal. No issues there. This one is good. And the Seahawks will extend to a 10-0 lead.
So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
The Broncos offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. And nothing doing from the offense just yet. Down 10-0 as they come up with 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. And not much materializes there. He'll get this to the 35. They'll stick with him again. He'll take this forward for about a yard at best. Reek Woolen brings him down. We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Nix. And that is incomplete.
As this offense continues to put anything together and score some points, they need to just take a step back. Then you say, okay, we've struggled here in the first half putting points on the scoreboard. Don't worry about chasing points. Let's chase first downs. Let's chase completions. Just start building something small, and oftentimes when you take that approach, it snowballs, and next thing you know, you find your groove.
The Seahawks offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half, putting up some big numbers already. And remember, we haven't even reached halftime yet. Not much to speak of on that one, maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down. A shotgun run now with Walker. And he'll get them 5 yards closer, but now 3rd down coming up. Darnold to throw. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down, and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
And he'll be brought down. Short return, and they'll take over there. The Broncos offense getting set to get back to work. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. They'll go play action with Nix. He connects with Mims. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. Here's 2nd and 2. Play action now. It's Nix. He's going to keep it himself.
I love this call, Mike. 2nd down and short. One of the best downs in football to take a shot. Give credit to the defense. They were ready for it. But a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield. Take off, turn into a runner, pick up the 1st down.
He's got the tight end, Adam Troutman. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
So many of these young rookie quarterbacks, they come into difficult situations. We see it year in and year out. They don't have a lot of veteran pieces around them. Maybe their weapons aren't great, but I don't think that's the case for Bo Nix.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll give it to Dobbins. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Here's 2nd and 6. Now Nick's going to look to throw. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7. Back to throw is Nix. And he cannot get away, brought down. And that sack will bring us to the 2-minute warning. second down. Nix. He'll get this complete to Trent Sherfield. He's taken down just shy of the 10.
It's like a textbook, methodical, efficient NFL drive. 4 for 4 throwing the ball, mixing in some run. You're just marching the ball downfield at your will, and they get a fresh set of downs now to see if they can convert this nice drive into some points.
Off play action. He'll set up to... That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Reek Woolen.
So you find yourself entering the red zone. Mike, it's hard to not start envisioning scoring a touchdown. Well, that interception, it changes everything. This is a huge missed opportunity. You have to capitalize and find a way to hang 6 on the defense.
The home team's offense ready to get back to work. They've got the 10-0 advantage here early, and they'll see if they can add to it. Beginning on this drive, 1st and 10. Throwing, Darnold, taking the deep shot for Smith and Jigba. That is knocked away, incomplete. Good coverage there defensively, all over him. And it'll be 2nd down. To throw is Darnold. Again, working deep downfield. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, the intended receiver. Now it's going to be 3rd down. Straight ahead, it's Walker. And a nice run there. He'll get 9 yards. Mark him at the 29. Here's the punter now, as he's on for the 5th time this afternoon. To return, it's Mims. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. The visitors' offense going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Throwing, Nix. That one caught Devon Vele. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. Now, a 2nd down throw for Nix. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's their punter now, as he's on here to punt this one away. Oh, but he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The home team's offense going to take over here in the last minute of this first half. Their lead is 10. They go back to work, trying to add to it. It begins with 1st down.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
So we've reached halftime here on NFL Kickoff Weekend as we get you to Orlando. Say hello to my old pal, Jonathan Coachman, with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. More from you and Greg in a moment. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here and what's already been an eventful afternoon of football. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where you see the final score there. Josh Allen, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to see what's going on with the Chiefs. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. These two teams leaving the tunnel, and we'll head out with them. It's time to send it back over to Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen.
All right, Coach, second half, drawing near. Glad to have you back with us here on EA Sports. Third quarter set to commence, and we're back underway here on EA Sports. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back set to go once more. And really, he has not produced a whole lot of highlights as we thought about coming in that he could be a featured back in this one. Instead, no running lanes, no room to operate, stuck at the line of scrimmage, and generally taking this offense out of its flow.
All right, so there's really three areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number one, the traditional handoffs. Number two, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection, and maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
Well, there's not a whole lot of fancy going on here, Mike. This is just kind of old school, line up and run smash mouth football. It's exactly what they did, but it still ends up in a big gain, and he picks up the first down.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. They'll stay on the ground. That's powerful running, lowers the shoulder, and picks up 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. A tight end in motion now. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he will work this down inside the 40. That's going to be good enough to move the chains. First down. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. On second down, it's Nix. Now he takes off. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
A quarterback who can extend the play with his legs, Mike, is just such a key element to today's modern offenses. You can see there was nowhere for him to go with the ball, but he decides to turn into a runner, picks up a great gain, and ultimately a first down.
Nix, how to throw it here on first down. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Evan Ingram, the intended target. And it'll bring up second down. From the shotgun, here's Nix. Got it into the hands of Mims. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. They'll send a tight end in motion. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert on 3rd and 1. Here's Nix to throw. He's hit as he threw. It goes to the ground, and it's an incomplete pass. We'll go again from the 3. It is 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up 3rd and goal. They'll run. And he's so close to breaking the plane, but the official's going to come in and mark him short. So now it's 4th down.
How about this for a goal line stand, Mike? Your back's against the wall, back-to-back plays, you hold tight. They set themselves up here to defend a 4th and goal try.
Field goal will make it a 1-score game, but they want more here on 4th and goal. This one incomplete. The defense up to the challenge there. They force the incompletion, and they'll take the ball over on downs. The home team's offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They'll need to get something positive going right away here. Ball starts inside their own 1-yard line. And the defense thinking they have the safety here, but the spot is just outside the goal line. Good play, but no 2 points. Once again, it's Walker. It'll grind out a couple of yards, gives them a little bit of space out to the 3. They need 8 as they come up for third down. On the ground, it's Walker. The Seahawks sending out their punt team, as he'll be standing just inside the back line of the end zone. That's taken in at the 50. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Visitors' offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They've got great starting position with a short field as they try to get back in this one. It is 1st and 10. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
And he continues to carry the ball well. Another nice one here. But as they find themselves continuing to trail here in the second half, the opposing team's defense is not really concerned about the run game. They need to find a way to use the pass to get the lead and then go back to this run game to close the game out. So often for a defense defending the passing game, the most difficult guy to account for is the running back out of the backfield. So a really nice job here bringing him down before he has a chance to pick up any yards after the catch.
And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8.
It's really just an extended handoff. Get the ball out wide to your running back in space and make the defense tackle him. That's really all this is. Something.
He fumbled the football. And it's recovered by one of his teammates.
Sometimes these games in the NFL, Mike, they get decided by simply how the ball bounces. I mean, how often do we see a quarterback in the pocket get strip sack and that ball ends up going the other direction? Fortunately for them, they can regroup, get back in the huddle, and live another day. Ball falls into the hands of his own guy, and they'll see if they can dodge this bullet.
A tough spot here. 3rd and long. He'll try to run for it.
This is all about sensing the pressure. You can see him keeping his eyes downfield as long as he can. But ultimately he decides, I got to tuck this ball and become a runner. He's able to avoid the sack, pick up some positive yards.
On 4th down, the veteran Will Lutz for the Broncos field goal. This about as short as you can get. Lutz's kick is good. And the Broncos are on the board. It's now 10-3.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through and they get 3.
This one taken at the 7. Good return here. Brings it up to the 33-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready to get back at it. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Outright Smith and Jigba has it. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Now Darnold. This one complete to his tight end Fant. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7. Off the play fake, it's Darnold. And that ball intercepted by Pat Surtain.
So the first part of any interception is just end up with the ball in your hands, right? That's what every defensive coordinator wants. But anytime you can get yards on the return, that's just an added bonus. And that's what we see here. There's a little space, does a great job securing the catch, and all of those yards just set up for better field position as their offense takes the field.
The Broncos offense ready to see what they can do. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. He's got his receiver. It's Cortland Sutton. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. They'll throw. It's Nix. Quick throw here is complete. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Throwing is Nix. He's going to tuck it and go. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a 1st down.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
Here's a run. And he's in! J.K. Dobbins. Touchdown, Denver. A huge touchdown there in the 4th quarter, and now just a point away from tying the game.
And that's one of those drives, Mike, where you know your best is needed. Can you come through here late and give your team a chance? They're an extra point away from tying this thing up, and we got ourselves a ball game.
The kick is good, and that will tie this game here in the 4th quarter. All even. 4th quarter, everything we've wanted. What's in store in the remaining time? And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense as they get ready for their next possession. They'll see if they can go about breaking our tie. We're all even at 10 as this drive begins, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Walker to start the drive. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
That's a heck of a run right here, Mike. Tie game, 4th quarter. Everything's on the line. Can you win in the trenches? Can the threat of that run continue to balance off the pass? And that's a big gain there as they try to go take this lead.
He's going to force his way for a yard or 2. But looks like this one's going to be coming back. Darnold now to throw. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. Off the bootleg. Here's Darnold. Pressure gets there, and down he goes.
pretty evident that the defense is just giving no time of day to any run actions. They are playing pass all the way, and he can continue to give as many play-action fakes as he wants. It hasn't affected anybody, and in this case, it results in a sack. Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and let's also give some credit to the back end doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away.
And he'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you can run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, the stats. It has all been on display throughout.
At this level, you just would expect a little bit better execution and accuracy on those intermediate throws. I think he had an opportunity there for a nice pickup. Off target, off rhythm, and ends up getting away from it.
And that'll go for a gain of 7, and it's going to set up third down. To throw is Nix. He's got his tight end. It's Ingram. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down. Nix gonna keep it on the zone read. And he is out of bounds, but not until he's inside the 40-yard line. They get 21 on that one. First down, Broncos.
This defense has had their share of troubles trying to contain this quarterback today, Mike. This time they go to the zone read. The defender goes after the running back, and the quarterback pulls it, keeps it himself, and has a huge gain for a first down.
Here's Dobbins, and he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
Anytime the running back is forced to chop his feet in the background and never get to top speed, you know that play's not going anywhere. And that's exactly what the defense was able to force here by getting penetration. Great job there, stopping this play before he had a chance to even get started.
Now he'll run.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold him to just a short gain.
On third down, they'll set up to throw.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
This one has plenty of leg, and it is good. And they take the lead here in the fourth quarter.
So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Seahawks offense ready to take over once more. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Darnold. Throw left side, but that's going to be incomplete. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, the one he was looking for. It's 2nd down. Darnold to throw. Crushed, it's incomplete. He did get the pass off, but he got drilled before he let it go. Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Darnold. Throw right side, hauled in by Kupp.
When you're willing to throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you know what that tells me, Mike? The decision to go for it on 4th down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a 4th and short, and you give yourself a realistic shot of converting on this 4th down.
And he's going to be hit and dropped right away. That's great coverage there. Winds up with nothing on the return. The rookie, Bo Nix, and the Broncos offense getting set to take over once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. Just pushing guys away as he takes this forward for a gain of 7. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. A run with Dobbins. And he'll get about 4 out of that one. That should be enough to move the chains. It is. First down. Slot receiver headed right. They run on the jet sweep. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. He'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Now it's Dobbins. And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down. Mims sent in motion here. On the ground, here's Dobbins. And it looks like he's going to have that first down. He will, not by a whole lot, but he's got it enough. And they convert on 3rd down. Play action now. It's Nix. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. They'll give it to Dobbins. A nice pickup, moving it across the 40. We'll give him 6 on that play. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They send Sutton in motion. Open man, right side. He's got it. 16-yard pickup on that one. Good for a Denver first down.
So this is a part of the game that everybody works on, Mike. They call it 4-minute offense, and you don't necessarily have to have 4 minutes on the clock. But the whole idea is we possess the ball late in the 4th quarter with the lead. The goal is we want to end the game with the ball. So that 3rd down conversion is going to go a long way. Protect the ball, continue to pick up first downs. If they do that, I don't even think their opponent sees the ball again.
He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
At this stage in the 4th quarter, great job by the defense, understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
2nd and 11. Now give on the ground. And he'll be very close to a first down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot. They have converted twice on 3rd down on this drive, and they need a yard here with 3rd and 1. And he's going to be brought down at the 27, but that's enough. First down as they do it on the ground. They'll stay on the ground. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. They'll stick with him again. And that'll give him a first down. Tackle made after the pickup of 3. The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to an E. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So it is a win for the visiting Broncos. They move to 1-0, getting the victory to begin the new campaign. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.